With all the type cell drama, I figured that I would switch the pace and throw it back on Deepwoken. A disclaimer to the video, to Mr. Mage and Raguzer and the dev team at large, I love you. I have no beef with you. In fact, a lot of you, pretty cool. Mr. Mage and Raguzer, low-key, were trying to help me out the last time I had a run-in with the staff. And before, Fino, even though it's just easy to make jokes about Fino. He actually joined one of my live streams and fixed a build that I messed up just because he was being nice. The devs are cool people. The people who aren't as cool are the staff. So, we'll go back in time a little bit. This whole thing where I get banned from the Discord, the revolution begins, and it's like, it sort of died off, right? I got my unbanned from the Discord, and I was told by the head mod, by Horror, Goopy Schloopy, that they were going to rework the rulebook so that this kind of shit doesn't happen. And at that point, I was like, okay, there's no need to, like, milk the situation, drag this any further. Like, we've won. This is going to be a net positive, not only for the players, but for the members of the moderator staff, who genuinely would like the rules to be more, like, clear-cut, more recognizable. And then that just never happened. Okay, they just never reworked the rules or nothing. They just swept it under the rug, pretended it never happened, and now it's business as usual. And another thing that really pisses me off about, I guess, the staff in general, and this is a relatively new rule. This isn't something that will affect most of the players, but immediately before my ban, and honestly what I think was, like, influential in it, was this new rule where essentially if the staff does not deem your content appropriate, if they don't agree with the content you're making, they can then take your content creator role. So what does that mean? You lose access to the CC-only chat in the Deepwoken server, where the devs frequently talk about updates and special things in the game, like it is an incredible source of information. You lose that connection to the other CCs in there, just like general making friends, connections, collaborations, all that. You lose access to that. And of course, you can't be part of a lot of the CC events. It's generally like, if you don't have CC role, you can't be part of the sponsored events, which of course happen in the CC private server, which you lose access to. Now it's gotten to the point where if you don't have the CC role, you don't get access to the private server. I have lost access to the server. And a lot of people have said, like, oh, think about, like, Supa or Valicus, like, they don't have the CC role, and they're super successful. Every example I hear of, like, oh, people who don't have the CC role, man, they still have an incredible following. They already had the following, right? They weren't a small, like, content creator trying to build connections and make a name for themselves. They already had a massive, loyal following and were incredibly influential long before they ever lost the role. And I get it. If you break the rules, you lose the privilege of having it. That makes sense. But the only rule that I broke in that moment, and the only rule that other CC now going into the future will break, is that someone on the staff just didn't like them. The only rule that they broke was just being themselves. I think it's dumb. I think it's discouraging to new CC, knowing that if you say the wrong thing, you could lose it all. And I mean, people are going to say that it's not that serious. But again, like I said, you get a ton of benefits from having the CC role. And then you could lose that just because you made a single video someone didn't like. That's a little wicked, man. That's crazy. Still waiting on that rulebook rework because the rules are still shitty, as they always were. You never actually know when you're breaking the rules or what crosses the line. It's entirely dependent on whatever mod you get, how they're feeling, their personal, like, emotions on the situation. I don't know, man. Do what you said you were gonna do. That's all I gotta say.